Hey, how's it going? This is the review of the final episode of Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe.
And it is amazing!
Yeah, it was really good.
It's really good.
It was highly, very enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there were specific characters that were highlighted. Of course,
This guy right here in the purple is one of them. I don't know if y'all noticed or not, but he's in there.
pivotal guys.
Yes.
And no, believe it or not, the other character that was highlighted was this guy right here, Eternal Warrior right there. It shows that even though he chose not to get into the action when it came to Ninjak, he don't mind picking up his axe and tearing up little henchmen if he feels like it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of blood in this episode, guys, and it's all having to do with
Eternal
people.
Warrior. Like he can't pass up killing some people or a mob of people. Like you notice how he went for that solo XP.
Yeah, so he pretty much just butchers a bunch of dudes with his axe and then, moves on with his day. But, Eternal Warrior. You're like, who's Eternal Warrior? Eternal Warrior is the youngest brother of three. One of them is one of them is Armstrong. He's the middle child. The other one is what's his name?
Ivar Time Walker.
Time Walker. Ivar the Time Walker.
Yes,
and he is the oldest of the three brothers, and he's immortal, but he moves around in time. Like somehow he just goes and travels time and does
See if
things.
I can find a good picture of him.
And he's a redhead.
Yeah, well he's a ginger. In the original comics, he had brown hair just like his brothers, but in this one, he's just he's a ginger. And he's pretty much like Doctor Who, but so much cooler.
Yeah, he's like the Doctor Who. Oh my god, that's so Doctor Who right there.
Yeah, come with me if you want to change time. Or make history, that's it. So it's like Terminator mixed with
So he pretty much travels time and fixes stuff, so he's pretty much Doctor Who in the
time cannot be changed.
But he
wants to change time.
He fixes
just
things.
Can't.
He fixes things that have happened. Or sorry, he goes and
he makes sure things happen.
He writes things that could go wrong. So he'll travel and fight a bunch of Nazis, or he'll travel to the past and fight some dinosaurs. He'll travel to the future and fight some aliens. I don't know.
I mean, well, one of the reoccurring gags from the original run of Livewire Time Walker is that he has made a whole lot of enemies, and he just hasn't met them yet. So he'll travel to a certain spot in time, they'll be like, it's you! And then he'll be like, what'd I do? You know perfectly well what you did. And then they'll go after him, or whatever.
Oh my, what happened?
And and you can tell by his personality, he's the kind of guy that would do something like that to make them mad. He'll constantly, he'll just be walking through town and unknowingly push somebody off a ladder or something like that,
Oops.
And he'll be like, sucks to be you, and then walk off, jump through a portal in time or whatever.
20 years later, come back to the...
Yeah, his past self will come to
that universe 20 years to the future of that. And the dude's like this old guy with a one leg, but he's like a crime mob boss or something.
Exactly.
And but those two are Armstrong and Ivar got their immortality from an altar thing that absorbed all these dudes' souls and made them immortal.
I don't think it's called an arc. It's called
I didn't call it an arc.
No. I did.
Okay, but so what winds up happening is Eternal Warrior's dead. He's already dead, and they were trying to use it, hopefully, to bring their brother back, because there's their baby brother, and he died in battle, and it did not work. They became immortal, but he did not get brought back to life. But instead, the Earth brings him back to life as pretty much the Earth's protector, so he can live forever, but he can still die. And when he dies...
Boon. It's called a boon.
Right. When he dies, he goes
Straight to hell.
Straight to hell.
Well, he actually visits his family first, and then he goes straight to hell.
And that's the only way he can come back to the living is he has to fight his way past all the demons of hell and make it to a gate specifically for him to come back to the living. And Eternal Warrior has a purpose. His purpose is to protect a book that has all the secrets of the universe, then all the secrets of the future of the earth. And if anything evil gets their hands on it and reads that, catastrophic things could happen. And there is a person that is meant to hold the book, and that person is the Geomancer. And every time one dies, another one is born. And they are the Geomancer. They're meant to wield the book and use it to do great things. I don't know.
Basically, the Book of the Geomancer tells the history of everything. Everything that will happen or has ever happened. And it also contains the most powerful magic imaginable. With the Book of the Geomancer, one could literally destroy all of reality. And so it's literally the single most dangerous item on Earth. If anybody evil were to get their hands on it, it would probably mean the extinction of all humanity.
Yeah, and that's kind of the whole plot for this entire series, because Ninjak has that book. So that's why the people are chasing him down, because that's a serious threat to pretty much all of existence on Earth, because he has the book, and that lady is serving someone in the shadows that wants to use the book to do extremely evil things, and that's why everyone's chasing him down.
Yeah.
And
it's revealed who it is, but it was one of the people that we said.
Of course, the person that wants the book gets the book. Because, people are kidnapped.
He doesn't get the book.
Yeah, they got... They're not going to give things away, but the book goes into evil hands at the end of the series. I mean, it's predictable. It's not really a spoiler if you already know what's going to happen. But things go down. Eternal Warrior kicks some A, but so did Ninjak. You would have guessed it. You would have seen it happen. Ninjak gets in a confrontation with that lady right there in that corner that he's about to start making out with. They have history.
Roku?
Yes, the Ninjak and Roku have history. And I really have no idea what the history is, but...
I will tell you. Alright, so they were... she and Ninjak were partners in the spy agency when Ninjak first started as a spy. That was his first partner, or I suppose it'd be called a handler. And so they would go on missions together, and they eventually fell in love, but they kept it a secret. Well, then during one mission, Roku died, sort of. She didn't actually die. She was taken by a cult, and Ninjak thought she was dead by her wounds. And then the cult basically put nails inside her body, like big giant spikes that gave her powers or whatever. And those people are the Shadow Warriors. This guy right here is one of the 7 Shadow Warriors. And yeah, so once she got transformed into Roku, her memory was erased, and now she's just pure evil.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
We're not really going to go into much detail. Roku has powers. Her power is to control her hair, and it can pierce through your body and kill you, or strangle you, lift you up. Yeah,
she's
she has
dangerous.
Hair powers. It's been used in a few other series. There's a character in Inhumans, the Queen of the Inhumans, can pretty much have the same powers. Her hair is alive. It's red as well. And, yeah. But Roku, it's a little lower level on the hair.
Well, it's not only that.
Her hair's shorter, too. She's a spy, so that's she's different, but the powers are similar.
Yeah. Well, yeah, like Michael says, she does have the hair powers to kill. She's very dangerous with her hair. But not only that, she's also martial arts training, extremely deadly spy, weapons training, So, yeah, and she's a former love interest of Ninjak, so just being that is a distraction to Ninjak in a sense,
So this was a confrontation that's been a long time coming, because if you watched all the other episodes, you kind of it's kind of like going up a tower and making your way to the final boss. And we're not really going to go into details of what happens, but of course, are going to know that Ninjak saves the day, and people don't die.
Well, no, people die.
Well,
lots of henchmen die.
Innocent wife and child don't die. But we're not going to tell you how it happens. We're not going to go into any of that stuff. The episode was very entertaining. Lots of gags. It kind of ties up. They all kind of get back together. Like, all the gangs together. They're working together as a team to get rid of all these henchmen and to save the book from being in evil hands, which is very good. And explosions.
Yes.
Blood, a lot of blood. Archer and Armstrong shenanigans.
Of course. What's an episode without that?
Bloodshot being a total badass. A Neanderthal, freaking Conan the Barbarian version of Iron Man flying through the sky. You're gonna see that. And there's one character we haven't really talked about, and that's Livewire. That's her name, right?
Yeah, Livewire.
Livewire. And she was in the first episode. We might as well talk about her. Livewire has the ability to control all technology, and she can electrocute people. We talked about that a little bit. But she does have a fight with Ninjak. She's just so not noticeable in this series. And it's really a shame.
She's a support character.
She's so cool, and she has such cool powers, but she just really didn't get any spotlight.
Now, to be fair, she has a lot of. She's a very important person of the Vailant Universe as it is today.
Yes.
But back when Vailant started, she was one of the 2 founders of the Secret Weapons, which she is now one of the founders of Secret Weapons in the new Secret Weapons today. But she wasn't a very important character back in the day. She was kind of overshadowed by everyone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's pretty much exactly what's happened in this series. It's a real shame. She does have her own showcase, and it shows her using her powers, and it's very interesting, highly entertaining. But
her powers didn't really have a chance to shine because Ninjak, even though he is a cyber ninja, he's not made of technology and stuff like that. So
he didn't really use any against her too.
Yeah, it wouldn't done nothing to her. You know what I mean?
I'm smart enough not to.
But and so she could show off her real abilities were. Like if she was to go up against Exo Manowar, Exo Manowar putting his fist at her, and she'd be like, okay, and then the suit would fly off of Exo Manowar onto her, and then she'd point her fist at him.
It's a darn shame.
Yeah.
So, as a recap, Archer and Armstrong, okay, they get their time to shine. It's hilarious. Exo Manowar, epic scene. Gotta see it. Bloodshot, one of the biggest. It was a huge surprise seeing him showing up, the way he does.
Every time.
His hero moment in the final episode is very surprising, and it's really cool. And
that reminds me of an issue too, but I'll tell you about it in a second.
But and then don't if it gives anything away, I don't want it. Probably shouldn't be said.
All right.
Eternal Warrior, freaking Hoss. He pretty much just murders everything, and it's awesome. He has blunt bullets going at him, and it's like a walk in the park to him. He just holds up his armored glove thing, and it gets
technically he didn't even have to.
Yeah.
Even though even though he can be killed with enough damage, he's still immortal. So he could be thrown underwater and swim for days and days and days on end and not drown. You know what I mean? He could still take bullets and be perfectly fine and regenerate. It's just if enough damage were to happen to him, he would die. His body respawns kind of like when he walks out of hell, he walks out with a brand new body too. Or no,
he still has the scars.
No, his scars actually. The only thing that's been able to scar him is this dark entity that comes back every so many thousand years just to pee him off and kill a geomancer. That's the only reason why he has those scars. But yeah, he's a hoss. He technically doesn't even have to block those bullets. He'd be fine.
You only see Shadow Man in episode 4, which is a real shame because he is so cool.
Yeah. But he's got bigger problems to deal with,
yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Livewire's there at the end. She doesn't really do much.
She escorts people.
Yeah, she's just not a whole lot of limelight, like I said. Was there anyone else?
Archer Armstrong, Ninjak, Eternal Warrior, Bloodshot. What about Neville?
Neville, he's pretty much doing Nick Fury stuff. He's Nick Fury. He does Nick Fury stuff. He leads their agents and points at people to do things, and they do things, and he shoots his gun, pew pew.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
other than being Nick Fury, other than being Nick Fury, his other job is to be very British, and he does that.
He is super British. I mean, I'm sad that Ninjak doesn't get to show off his extreme Britishness. But you know what? Neville
does enough for both of them.
Yeah, Neville and Roku make it up for him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Roku's super British.
So overall, the entirety of the series gets a very, very solid 8 out of 10.
I say 9 out of 10.
And I'm not even adding special points to it. It doesn't need it. 8 out of 10. It was great. The only thing that really held him back were some acting that was kind of off. But all the action was fantastic. All the special effects, within reason, were 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about the budget that was put into it and the fact that it's not even a well-known series.
If you take it all together, it might as well be a movie.
It's way beyond anything you'll see, like, on YouTube or anything. Way beyond what you'll see in some television. So it's wonderful. All of it.
I personally give it a 9 out of 10. The only things that don't make it perfect is the child and the mom's acting.
Yeah,
and it's serialized like a comic book, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But at certain times, it kind of drags it down a little because it's not a cohesive story. It's kind of like cut, go to the next section, kind of thing. Which it's still amazing. Got a great story and beginning, middle, and end. It's just if the and of course Ninjak's non-Britishness slightly brings it down a little. But
the reason it's an 8 for me is a lot to do with X-O Manowar. He's got the look down, and he's got the height and the physical characteristics,
but not the personality.
The personality is just not there.
I think it's not.
The actions are not there. But the look and the writing's fine. It's just the actor didn't hit it.
I think during the fight he shows off his personality during the fight.
He does a great job of the actor. The actor was great with his fight scenes. He did all the stuff. The acting was great, but he wasn't X-O Manowar. He was like some other dude with the suit, pretty much.
I thought he was X-O Manowar, but my thing was that he didn't have enough, to show that, and it's kind of the same way with Shadow Man. He's Shadow Man, but it doesn't really give a lot of Shadow Man or X-O Manowar time to shine because they're just there for a second and then they're gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Whereas Bloodshot had a lot of screen time, Eternal Warrior had a lot of screen time, and Archer and Armstrong had a whole lot of screen time. Out of everybody who's not Ninjak, those had the most screen time. You know what I mean? And time to grow. And Roku, but I mean she's the main villain.
She's what's called a static character. Static characters don't have change or growth in a series. They're meant to be things. They're not meant to grow.
Well, I mean, she's meant to grow, just not here.
A three-dimensional character's a character that when you're watching something or reading about them that grows the entire time and has depth to them.
Yeah, well, she's not meant to grow here. She's meant to grow in the comics,
Yeah, that's a long time, not just a short series thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Ninjak, oh man, the way it ends and there's story with with narrating and monologues that go on. It's very cool. And there's a talk. I mean, it's not really giving much away. There's a talk about being a team and what that's like. And I'm not really going to say anything about it, but look out for that and kind of listen to it. And it's very interesting from that point of view, I guess.
So this is not a spoiler. It doesn't give away the story, but it does give away that you never get to see what happens in the fight between Ninjak and Eternal Warrior. I wanted to see Eternal Warrior kick his butt.
They don't have one.
No, during the training session, they were right
Oh
about to
yeah.
fight. You know what I mean?
I don't think they were.
No. They were going to have a sparring session to prove for the Eternal Warrior to prove a point.
Yeah, I don't think the fight ever happened.
No, I think the fight happened. It just never. I mean, it never showed in the series.
It never showed where
Yeah.
there was actually a decision for them to fight.
Uh-huh.
You see his Ninjak take off his jacket
And then they
and goad. I think Bloodshot and
no he Eternal
and some
Warrior.
Manowar
Yeah.
fight him.
Well, Eternal Warrior said, you can't make me change, become emotional or whatever.
Mm.
But they were going to fight. It was like that was a thing that was going to happen.
I didn't see
It was Eternal Warrior was going to show that you just because you don't have your stuff, you're still going to need to fight somebody who. And Ninjak was like, well, if you go up against somebody as good as me, whether you have your powers or whatever, you're not going to be able to win or whatever. That's what Ninjak was saying.
I just don't think that fight was going to happen.
No, I think it was. But anyway, yeah, you never got to see that. And that's fine. You can kind of come to your own conclusions. Maybe they're gonna have like a comic to show what happened, like a Ninjak versus Valiant Universe 0 edition comic or something like that.
I seriously don't think it was gonna happen.
But maybe they'll show that. Who knows? But I think the series is great. Y'all need to watch it. It's really amazing.
Yeah, watch the series, guys. It's very entertaining. And like I said, it's a smaller budget, but you have to think about it this way. The series in itself, I mean, the entire franchise of Valiant is not very well known, but the writing and just the history, like Valiant in itself is a legacy. And it's a legacy with a very good pedigree, very good writers, artists that used to be in DC and Marvel left and went to Valiant when they discovered that Valiant was coming back. And a lot of look at this, guys. Look at that. That's beautiful.
FYI, guys, this is the only volume of Valiant I refuse to read because of the name and what it's about. It literally reveals how certain characters die, so it's a glimpse into the future, and I can't read it. I can't bring myself to read how these people die.
I might read it. Take that thing right up and read it. I feel like it. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us in this review. Comment below. Has our review made you want to watch the series, or have you watched the series and saw a review and agreed with us, or have you not agreed with us? Or is there anything that you've had come to mind by watching this, or is there like a certain character or story that we talked about that made you want to go and check them out and read them for yourself?
And if you are a fan of the comics and we got something wrong, comment in the comment section. Let us know. Also,
have you never even heard of Valiant Universe? Are you just watching this because it just popped up in your feed? Valiant Universe, very good read. Number 3 in popularity, some of the best comic book writing you will really find anywhere. Better than Image, better than Dark Horse. I can say that with utmost confidence.
And I personally believe their stories and comics are actually of better quality than Marvel and DC.
Yeah, it's just that they don't have the history. If Valiant was out and came out and had publications of the same kind and the same kind of, blood and themes and realism and all that kind of stuff that really makes Valiant Valiant. If Valiant had all of that when it came out during the same time period and had the same amount of time and growth that DC and Marvel had, it would possibly be above.
I agree. If the original Valiant run had continued and not turned into Valiant Acclaimed, it would have continued on and probably surpassed both Marvel and DC. Honestly,
possibly.
Yeah. But that's not how things happened. And maybe in the future I'll put out some videos to explain the history of the Valiant comics and what led to where we are today. But yeah, comment below what you want about the Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe. Let us know what you think about the reviews. If you like these reviews, give us a like in the like button. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the Nerd Steel channel. Be part of the cool club.
Be a part of the cool club. All you have to do is subscribe, and you're one of us.
Yeah, and
you are a cool club because you have decided to sit down with us and chill and watch our content and really just hang out. You know, in my opinion, if you're willing to chill with me, hang out, and you know, just share some space and really connect as people, then you're cool in my book. You know.
Yeah. And of course, check out our other videos. We play games all the time. Check out Buck Souls. Every other week we play Buck Souls, and we play Bogus Adventures. And during the weekends, Mega Man weekends. Tune in next time or whatever and see what happens.
Oh, this just in. My boy Glenn has decided to play Fallout 3 on PC. He's going to start doing live streams and then posting them on the channel whenever he plays. So that's a thing. But if you're a kid, you're not allowed to watch it as grown people content because it has curse words and stuff
and
in it.
Blood and violence.
Blood and violence.
More than you see currently on the screen.
I don't really know whatever it is. We will put a thing on there that says. So, like, if it's T for teen, I think that's 14 or 13. So.
This is 18.
18. We'll look it up and we'll put on the no sign with the 18 plus only. Blah blah blah.
Also, do you want to show off your shirt?
Oh yeah. So I got this shirt. I saw it on Facebook and I thought it was the most glorious thing ever. I like to read. I like Dungeons and Dragons, and I read the Legend of Drizzt. And Drizzt is a drow elf from the Drow kingdom of Menzo Barazun. And
you did it the opposite way.
Right, okay. So it looks like the Disney logo with like the arch on it, but like that's spider webs, and that's the towers of the Underdark. They look like stalactites. That's kind of what the towers are made of, stalactites and stalagmites. You know,
mites at the bottom, tights at the top.
Whatever. They're in a cave and it's dark. There's no light there, but they worship the Spider Queen. So there's a spider there. It's Spider Queen
Driders.
Lolith. Yeah, there's Driders, which are drow people that are being punished by made into pretty much spider centaurs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's very, very interesting. I saw this on Facebook, believe it or not, and I went to the website and bought it immediately. It was a mistake because I wound up being broke until recently. And so, yeah, spend within your means, people. If you have a job and you like eating before you work, then make sure you have enough money to do so. Otherwise, you go hungry at work like I did for a couple of days. But anyway, thank you for joining us. We will see you in the next video. I am still going to do a video where I talk about
Miles Morales.
Miles Morales, Spider-Man, mixed race Spider-Man. He is black and Puerto Rican, and I find him very intriguing. I like his story a lot, and I'm always drawn to stories.
Ultimate.
I'm always drawn to stories of people with color because I myself am a mixed race individual, and I like to be represented in stories, and I don't really care that Peter Parker is. I don't care that the original Spider-Man was white. Miles Morales is a completely different person, and Peter Parker existed during the same time, so it's not really a replacement. But we will go into all of that when I put out the video. But until then, look out for it.
Of course, I hope y'all like this video, and we'll see you guys later. Okay.